Brad met with Beyond Stillness for 9 weeks to articulate and publicly share this story of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope. This interview was recorded during our final meeting together. To learn more about our programs and services, or to sponsor a guest on their story crafting journey, please visit www.beyondstillness.org. This week on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, we welcome guest Brad McKenzie to share his powerful and vivid stroke recovery story filled with life-threatening urgency, deep peace, resilience, and the pursuit of connection and purpose. We dive into ways small acts of kindness illuminate unique paths towards trust and create a foundation for strength to move forward. Join us as Brad shares how these quiet moments of connection become turning points in his journey.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke. Stroke offers a powerful, life-changing shift in perspective. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. Beyond Stillness offers a moment of pause for storytelling and reflection. Ultimately, we create a welcoming environment that reveres the moment beyond stroke's paralysis. Still moments unite humanity and divinity. I'm your host, Molly Bucola. As we begin today, we take a moment of pause, a moment to honor the way wisdom has emerged through recovery. And we give thanks. Now, Brad's interview. Brad, thank you for sharing your story. You mentioned the moment you saw the light and how it was life-changing for you. It makes you ponder your purpose, your actions, and why you're here, why you're still alive. But it sounds like you've stood up for what you believe in since before the stroke. I remember a story when you were working at the AIDS clinic and they tried to reduce the time between you and patients. And you said, that's not right. We're here for the patients. And you stood up for that and ultimately lost your job.
Isn't it funny that I knew I was going to lose my job, so I lined up a different one with my dad who lived across the country, but it was so important to me because that was so wrong what they were doing. And ultimately, I prevented it from happening, and the main insurance company offered me a job running a clinic, but I needed some more experience and I turned them down. But I wanted to go back as soon as my wife was done. I wanted to go back to Oregon and raise a family there.
Yeah. You said that it was so important to you to stand up for your patients. What is so important to you right now that you want to stand up for?
Well, everyone that's had a stroke or got hit on the head and they are trying to come back and form a life, I want to reach out, share what I've learned, and I think it needs to be a community. We share and make our world better, but it's really lacking, like the doctors and therapists are kind of getting it, but they are stuck in the past, like saying that you need to push so hard because after like 6 months or whatever, there's no more. You're not going to gain speech. You're not going to gain this and that.
You just keep getting better. I can even tell within the past 3-4 months. And I love that you share Dr. Limoncello have said, no, you can get better. That you
Yeah, like he was so important because I met him at Cerebellum's bakery. He was a speech pathologist, and I asked, "How do you get better? What do you need to do?" And he just said, "Every chance you get, you need to talk and listen, and you'll get better." But that was kind of a stretch for me. I was always a quiet person and I did things thoughtfully. But it's like, wow, I'm going to have to really change because I'm going to get out there and this is a big move. But I always appreciated that because he came to me and he listened and he had a solution. And I was probably maybe 2.5 years, 3 years post stroke. And then every chance I get, I try to talk. And then out of that, I think I've also, I don't know, well, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You said it's really important for you to stand up for stroke and TBI survivors.
yeah.
And what do you want to do for them or with them?
Well, I just realized like Kylie started this resilient seed. That's a farm. And whether it's there or cerebellums, or now I'm thinking about starting a stroke TBI survivor group. But I think out of that, I want to get it out there and meet them. And whether it's going out and meeting them in person or advertising online that we have a stroke TBI survivor group. I want to do that and connect the dots. I think I'll just keep going wherever the path takes me.
How have you trusted your path throughout life?
Well, I don't always know the correct path, but in general, like I have deep, strong feelings, like talking, I guess, to God. This is the path that I'm going to go down, but I didn't know I'd be here talking to you today, but it's the path that I was supposed to be on. Like I feel it, like I get little tingles in my body. I just know it, right? Like when I go skiing, I could go up and ski all days of the week, but so many things have to come together to have that perfect. You can't force it, but you can wait and you can know when it comes to you, like the level of the snow and all these things. But also, it's your intuition. Just that other day, Crystal Mountain was the best anywhere that I had gone. Tuesday was awesome. But so many factors had to come into place to make something like that happen. I guess it's like faith. How do you know? Well, you have to, like, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you really plan it, but it doesn't work. But over time, I think you get like a feeling. That feeling is like, this is the time you want to drop all your things you're doing because this is the time. And I think out of that, I was reading that story, Compassionate Kindness. Oh, it's so real because was talking to Mike because we're trying to name our group. And I had come up with kindness with purpose, but that didn't really, and he liked it and I liked it. And then we went out after the bakery ended and his mom was in the car and he goes, yeah, we're working on this. I think we're going to call it kindness with purpose. And she goes, really? And it just didn't come out quite right. But that's kind of interesting. We're getting really close. But I was like, I don't know how else to say it. Like church and all those things. Um, Sometimes I feel it there and sometimes I don't. And for some people, that's the most ultimate place to be. But for me, I think it's being out there and experiencing life and looking for those kind moments. And whether it's in India or Madagascar, all these places, moments are waiting for you if you're willing to put yourself out there. I think it's like it's the place where I feel alive.
Mm. I love that. I asked, how do you know what the path is? And you started with a big smile and said, you just know. I just know it. And I think that just knowing is hard for a lot of people, but it's clear that you have developed a sense or a practice in trusting what makes you feel alive, like you just said. If it makes you feel alive, if you feel ready to go, the time is right, maybe a little tingle, then that's the path for you.
Yeah, I get those little like right now I get the like because I know we're talking about these things and they can help people.
Totally. Yeah. How has it helped you?
Well, I think it's made me a better person. And I, like, you've gotten really good about distilling down and waiting for people. But you have a unique way about that. And I had signed up for finding my purpose with you. But it's like, what is it about her? There is something really unique. I think I'd probably have to read that text I sent you about what makes you unique, but I just keep trying. I keep learning from you, and I keep learning from Mike. I keep learning from my wife, my kids, my conversations with my parents, my brothers, and a lot of other people. And out of that, I just distill the facts, and it's like, this is like, yeah, yeah.
The path, man, Brad. And you're right. Those moments, we just know. And there's no way to explain exactly because that feeling is different for everybody. But the value in trusting that feeling is such a skill that you've clearly developed over your lifetime. How has trusting your path helped you through recovery?
Well, that's interesting. I was like, all right, I mean, I'm going to go down this path. And at this point, I don't think anyone's, not a single person believes me, but I'm going to do it because I know it's the right path. And everywhere, like, that's just what I'm going to do. And, but you have to be determined. And then as time goes on, it might take people a while, or you might need to switch your group or whatever. But with time, you discover key people can help you make a difference. And you're one of those. Mike has been one of those. Rick Limoncello's been one of those. And some people, maybe they can guide you a little bit, but when you're really looking to beat the odds, you need a stack. And sometimes I guess it's kind of daunting too. There's no books you can read. There's no, like, you're looking for another solution. You don't know what it is. And when you're in that place, it's pretty grand.
It's there. You have to surround yourself by people that believe in you,
Yeah, probably.
your potential, and then you can do it.
Yeah, but in the beginning, there was no one that was like, yeah, let's do it. Telling my wife, I want to ski. And she looked at me like, all right, let's do it. But I could see her thinking, I don't know how you're going to do that. You can't even walk. You can't even talk.
I love that she just goes, all right, let's do it. In your story, you talk about how she told the doctors and therapists that you were going to do anything that you put your mind to. So she knew you well enough to be like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Everyone needs an Elizabeth in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. They do need a Elizabeth. It's funny. It's not like it's an act of faith. It's like, I don't know how he's going to do it. And he doesn't know how, but yeah.
But I'm Brad.
I don't know if I'm going to say I'm Brad, but maybe the thing that we're all getting at is, if through this compassionate kindness, maybe we can get to this higher plane of finding our maker, and through that affect many people in a kind, passionate way. Because certainly I haven't always been kind and compassionate. Like, sometimes I want to, hey, there's the opening in the line. It's like, I'm going to go stand there. But like, people, was that the right thing to do? It wasn't. I did it. But afterwards, like, I still think it would have been so much better for me to take my place in line and wait. But I think if you operate in this kind, compassionate way, it just makes the world a better place. And you get to this point where you meet your maker, and it's so beautiful and so peaceful that you tell yourself, why wouldn't you want to make your life a happier place or a better place? And that epiphany, that light shining down, the sense of peace is so beautiful. And you have the chance to recreate that, or not recreate that. But when I came back and I was put back on this earth, and every day I have to choose, what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to do kind, compassionate things? Or do I want to do these other things that aren't very satisfying? And I want to do kind, compassionate things because that um, is, I can see what I'm meaning, but I don't have any words for it.
Why do you want to do kind, compassionate things?
It makes the world so much more pleasant. It just makes the world go around and it makes everyone happier. Even when someone dies, it's like you can make it, you want to remember like the kind, compassionate things and what they have accomplished, but you don't want to remember all the pain and suffering that they had gone through.
Isn't that interesting that the compassionate and kind things that people have done throughout their lives, once they pass away, those are the stories that continue to be told and remembered. And in that way, they're still alive here on Earth. When our friend passed away and everyone started sharing all the good things and everything, another friend who was very close with the man who passed away was like, why don't people talk about the things that drove us nuts about him, the person, right? But those things become endearing things that we laugh about. But what really sticks with us, what sticks to our hearts, are those moments like you're talking about, those moments of compassion and kindness. And Mike King, who you spoke about a couple times in this interview, shared his story on our show, and he talked extensively about his friendship with you, as you have also talked extensively in our conversations about your friendship with Mike. But the way that you engaged him when you first met was a turning point for him, in that you put yourself out there and you were asking questions of him and of the other people in the group to try to get to know them. And a lot of times that's a difficult thing to do, especially when people don't know each other. And that simple act might not be so simple because sometimes it's nerve-wracking to initiate a conversation, but that was a turning point for him. And his friendship with you, as you say, your friendship with him has been very powerful through recovery. And so in that way, you're living what you're talking about right now. It's something that can be a simple act of kindness that can actually reverberate and go on and develop into a friendship. Or at this point, you two are starting a group together to invite more people into the fold. Everything that you're saying, you're also doing. It's beautiful. Brad, I have so enjoyed our conversations throughout the past few months. Your pondering of faith and spirituality and how open you are to the wonders of life and the depth of each individual interaction and what's moving within you and the path ahead. I call you Sage Brad for a reason. So thank you for sharing with me throughout the past few months.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for sharing you, because you've been a key person in me finding my true purpose. So thank you.
And you are a key person in me finding my purpose. It's a two-way street. I learn a lot from you every time we connect. So thank you, Brad. And I love that you've noted so many people in your life that you continue to learn from. I think it's really important that we all are walking each other home.
Yeah. I'm always so impressed. I'm always curious about your insights.
Storytelling empowers us to share our experiences in a way that invites others to reflect on their own. In a moment, I will read a few questions. You can also find them in the episode description. Now, community conversation prompts. What moment of peace has surprised you in recovery? How do you reconnect with it? What helps you find your voice again? We'd love to hear your reflections. Join the conversation on Instagram, Stories After Stroke, or Facebook at Beyond Stillness Stories After Stroke.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org. Another way to support is to like, share, or subscribe to our weekly show.
Thank you for listening to Part 2, Brad McKenzie's interview. For the full story, please listen to Part 1, Brad McKenzie's story. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. Brad's journey reminds us how quiet moments of connection can open the door to resilience, meaning, and renewed purpose. We hope Brad's story stays with you and sparks reflection on your own path. Remember, as part of the stroke community, you are more than supportive. You are inspirational. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, or leave a review to help others find these voices too. To support more stroke survivors in articulating and publicly sharing their journeys, please consider donating to Beyond Stillness Stories After Stroke.